Back to another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G. Today we're gonna react to 10 wrestlers who took the longest to win the WWE Championship. We're gonna react to 10 wrestlers who took the longest to win the WWE Championship. Let's get right into the video.
Bet365 is...
We have an advertisement to start off. It's skippable though.
have all the luck. They debut for WWE, and within a handful of months, they're celebrating winning the company's biggest title. Other performers, however, they have to wait a bit longer, and some of them have to wait bloody ages. These 10 grapplers all took well over a decade to go from their televised debut to getting their hands on the shiniest of all buckles. And make sure you pay attention to this one, there are quite a few surprising names here. And before we start, we know Vince McMahon debuted on TV as an announcer in 1971, so it'll be over 10,000 days by the time he becomes WWE champ in 1999. But even then, he was the owner of the company, not really a wrestler. I'm Sam.
And it's just the fact that he was actually WWF champion. At the time, it was WWF, but yeah.
Driver from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 wrestlers who took the longest to win the WWE Championship. Join us! Number 10, Mankind at 4,508 days. On January 4th, 1999, a masked man with one ear beat a future movie star in a fake fight with the help of a bald Texan. It doesn't sound like much.
Oh yeah, this was the when Mick Foley, he won. I think he beat The Rock. It was on, was it Raw? And then like after he won, everybody in the crowd, not crowd, but all the wrestlers came in the ring and like, you know, gave him a honorable celebration or whatever.
On paper, but this was one of the greatest moments in professional wrestling history. When Mick Foley defeated The Rock to become WWE champion for the first time, it marked the culmination of an incredible journey. Here was a guy who didn't look like your typical world champion, and yet he captured the most illustrious prize in the game through sheer determination. Determination and a lot of blood. Though he's often associated with the 90s, Mankind's first WWE match actually took place in the previous decade. Under the name Jack Foley, he lost a squash tag team match against the British Bulldogs on a 1986 episode of Superstars. Given that the famous title change technically happened in December 1998, that means it took Foley 4,508
That's still a long title reign.
days to realize his dream. It's okay, Mick, you did it. You can relax now. What do you mean you're having an I Quit match with The Rock at the Royal Rumble? Oh dear. Number 9, Drew McIntyre at 4,551 days. When Drew McIntyre returned to WWE's main roster in 2017, he looked like he'd eaten the previous version of himself. Gone was...
Yeah, he came back, whole different version. He was with 3MB way before. He had the IC title. They gave him mid-card titles at the time. But then he left, came back, repackaged, and the physique. Yeah, man. So they pushed him.
The slender kid who fans had last seen prattling about with 3MB in tight leather pants, and in his place stood a huge, menacing titan with a sword in his grip and enough chest hair to clothe a family of 5. In his first run with the company, which officially began in October 2007 with a match on Smack...
I had never seen this match. I did not know he had this match. But this must be his debut, he said.
Down against the future Zack Ryder, he'd never quite felt like main event material. He'd won the Intercontinental and Tag Team Championships, and there was a lot of talk about his future, but it was clear that there was a ceiling on this potential. Now...
Like, at that time, he still looked like a main event star. When he had his old theme song and all that. So, like, I see why they gave him the IC title. You know what I mean? I see why they gave him the IC title, because you know what I'm saying, they pushed him at that time. Even if they give somebody mid-card champion, it still means they're doing something, you know.
Oh, with his improved physique, he could smash through that ceiling and then eat the rubble for breakfast. McIntyre made good on his Chosen One nickname when he defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. Almost 12 and a half years after his first WWE match, he ended the biggest night of the year with the biggest title in the game around his waist. And the crowd went wild. Oh, no, wait, it was that Mania, wasn't it? Never mind. Number 8, Macho Man Randy Savage at 4,554 days. It's impossible to understate just how important Macho Man Randy Savage is to the history of professional wrestling. He was one of the first
Definitely is.
big guys in the sport to routinely utilize flying offense in his moveset.
I just haven't watched a lot of his in-ring wrestling. I've seen his match with what was it, that tag match at WrestleMania 6. It was, I think I said this in the other video before. It was Macho Man and Queen Elizabeth versus Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire at WrestleMania 6.
And his blueprint would slowly evolve into the hybrid style of main event wrestling we see today. He might not have been busting out 630 sentons or anything, but the roots are there. Savage's captivating mix of in-ring ability, charismatic promo skills, and the possibility that he might genuinely explode at any given moment quickly made him a star in WWE. He won his first of 2 world titles at WrestleMania 4 in 1988, defeating Ted DiBiase in the finals of a grueling night-long tournament.
So pretty much he won the world title. Is that what he said? He got pushed at one point because he won world title. So
This was less than 3.
It's just he's not really a wrestler that everybody puts in their conversation. He definitely is up there. I just haven't seen much wrestling of his. His gimmick is good overall. He has a really good gimmick. I mean, what else could you say? He's won the world championship, so I mean, he's done something for the company, and they pushed him. So a lot of wrestlers, they gotta work their way up, I guess. Some get pushed right away.
Years after his first match under the Macho Man moniker. However, 10 years prior to that, he wrestled one televised match for the company under his real name, Randy Poffo. That loss to Johnny Rodz meant that his Mania triumph happened 4,554 days after his official TV debut. The cream may always rise to the top, but sometimes it takes a little while to get there.
Imagine.
We have an ad. Just give it a second. We have an ad.
Andre the Giant at 5,197 days. Now, you might not know this about the late, great Andre the Giant, but it turns out that he was really, really tall. The colossal Frenchman's towering height made him one of the greatest attractions in the history of the entire business. In the early 1970s, Andre would do the rounds for various promotions, popping in for a few matches so the crowd could gawp at him, and then moving on to the next venue full of slack-jawed observers. His first televised appearance for WWE came in late 1973, a few years before he would become a mainstay of the McMahon family empire. Because he was so impressive and his matches always felt special, there wasn't really much need to book Andre as a champion. So by the time he ultimately won the Winged Eagle in 1988, almost 15 years after his televised debut, it felt more like an obligation than a business decision. He does hold the distinction of having the most watched title victory in WWE history. His match against Hulk Hogan on NBC's The Main Event was viewed by a reported 33 million people. It also might have been the screwiest title change in WWE history.
I don't know what wrestling match it was, but there was a time in wrestling where Andre the Giant was a face and Hulk Hogan was a heel. They were, like I'm telling you, and I think they were either facing each other, but they were in the same promotion. But I had saw this match, and it was outside. They were doing some type of wrestling outside, but it was Andre the Giant. He was a face, right? And Hulk Hogan was a heel.
But it still counts. Number 6, Rob Van Dam at 5,206 days.
I didn't know his title reign was that long.
Honestly, it's a minor miracle that Rob Van Dam won the WWE Championship at all. He was a high-flying hippie who cut his teeth in the land of the extreme, which should have put him right at the back of the line. And yet, at the second ECW One Night Stand event in 2006, he got the job done. It might have taken both Edge and Paul Heyman to make it happen, mind, but RVD beat John Cena to claim the spinner belt, saving the city of New York from hordes of angry nerds rioting through its streets. Some of you probably already know that Van Dam didn't actually debut for WWE during the Invasion angle. He was a featured player in ECW's working relationship with the larger company in the late 90s, having 3 matches on Raw in 1997. However, this still wasn't his rookie year. Under the name Matt Byrne, which had to be a rib, the future Hall of Famer actually had 2 WWE matches in March of 1992, losing to Sid Vicious and the Mountie, respectively. It would take another 5,206 days for Mr. Byrne to join the most exclusive club in wrestling. Number 5, AJ Styles at 5,347 days.
You see, when he was world champion, he was running stuff at the time. He had his rivalry, Dean Ambrose, Jinder Mahal. Shinsuke Nakamura. He had a match against Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan. He just put on a lot of different matches while being champion. Like, whether he won or lost them, like, he did have a good reign.
Everyone knows AJ Styles' WWE story, right? He debuted at the Royal Rumble in January 2016, turned heel on Cena, and then won the WWE Championship from Dean Ambrose at Backlash in September. That's only 231 days, which should be the 4th shortest time to go from debut to champion. So why isn't it? Well, because the 2016 Rumble wasn't actually his debut, that's why. After showing some promise in the dying days of WCW, Styles bounced around a few places before eventually finding a permanent home in TNA. One of those places was WWE.
And he had a good career there too.
Who were interested in signing the promising young cruiserweight. They offered Styles a few tryout matches, one of which was televised as part of the TV show Jacked.
And that's where I really started watching him at TNA. Like, that's where he started really, so.
Hands up, who remembers Jacked? Gold star for you! I mean, he lost in 4 or so minutes against the Hurricane, and that was about it. He declined a developmental deal because it would cause too much strain on his family life, and he wouldn't appear on WWE screens again for 14 years. 5,347 days after his brief cameo, Styles stood tall as the company's top champion. Life can be very strange sometimes. Number 4, Jeff Hardy at 5,349 days. Keith Davis sounds more like someone your dad knows down the pub than a world champion. And yet, that's the name Jeff Hardy used when he had his first ever WWE match. The future legend had a 4-minute bout against Razor Ramon.
He faced Razor Ramon in 4 minutes? Wait, was Razor Ramon was Jeff Hardy like a local competitor at this time? He did say a 4-minute bout, so.
On a 1994 episode of Raw, before switching to his real name while continuing to play jobber. As anyone who's followed Hardy's career will know, the next decade or so was full of incredible ups and heartbreaking downs. The charismatic enigma established himself as a fan favorite, both in tag team and singles action, but his turbulent personal life would routinely derail his momentum. The peak of his career came at Armageddon 2008. Over 13 and a half years later, the skinny kid that had once been squashed by Scott Hall defeated Edge and Triple H to become the most important champion in all of wrestling. Hardy had fought for so long and come so close so many times. Now, he was king of the world. Granted, yeah, I know, the reign only lasted a month and he'd never hold the belt again, but alright, yeah, I don't have a comeback to that. I'm sad now. Number 3, Bobby Lashley at 5,641
I did not know his reign was that long.
days. If things had gone the way WWE would have liked...
Wait, no. This is him when he came back in, 2000... This was like the pandemic era, I think. So yeah, he actually... I could see why he was champ for 5,000 days. Because I literally watched his title reign. Like, he beat Miz for the title. And then... he put on matches. Like, he had rivalries against, I think, Drew McIntyre. I think he had faced Goldberg at one. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, I think he faced Brock, but I do remember him facing Drew McIntyre. I just don't want to name different wrestlers off the top of my head. I really don't. I can't just name them. I don't remember at the moment.
Bobby Lashley would be nowhere near this list. When the former Army Sergeant first debuted for the promotion in September 2005, his freakish combination of strength and speed drew more than a few comparisons to a certain Brock Lesnar. WWE clearly saw these similarities as Lashley was quickly pushed up the card in a manner not unlike the Beast incarnate. Alas, there's only one Brock Lesnar. Thank God. For whatever reason, Lashley's rocket push didn't work, and after less than 3 years with the company, he was gone. This turned out to be the best thing for the man who doesn't age. He was able to establish himself as a force to be reckoned with.
Yup, he did good in TNA. I think he had beaten Drew McIntyre in TNA for the title. Cause Drew McIntyre, his name was Drew Galloway or something like that. Yeah.
Promotions like TNA before triumphantly returning to where it all began in 2018. And that's when they put the belt on him, right? Right? Well, bafflingly, it would take another 3 years for Lashley to get his meaty paws on the WWE Championship when he defeated The Miz of all people on a March 2021 edition of Raw. It only took him 5,641 days to get there, but he did it. Number
We have an advertisement again. Minute 54-second ad. We're not watching.
At 5,802 days. Now surely this must be a mistake. Ric Flair debuted for WWE in late 91 as the real world's champion, then he won the WWE title in the 92 Royal Rumble. Sack the writer, in fact burn him at the stake. Oh no. Once again, dear viewer, I'm afraid that you've been misled. Much like AJ Styles several decades later, the Nature Boy actually appeared on WWE programming long before his more famous debut. Right at the start of his long and often improbable wrestling career, Flair had a pair of matches for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation as it was known at the time. He wrestled twice for the promotion in 1976, defeating both Pete Sanchez and Frank Williams. And if you've never heard of either of those guys, then don't worry. Nobody else has either. This means that it actually took the better part of 16 years for Flair to add the WWE title to his collection. Once again, a wrestler that should have been on our quickest list ends up on this one instead. Don't feel too bad for old Slick Rick though. He turned out just fine in the end. At number 1, Cody Rhodes at 6,110 days. On the July 16th, 2007 episode of Monday Night Raw, a young man with a famous...
And it took a while for them to push Cody Rhodes to the top. Like he's technically a Grand Slam champion now, but they gave him tag title, IC title. Did he win US title? No, I don't even think he's won the US title before. But he's won IC tag title. World champion now, but like I said, it took a while for them to push him. But yeah, he's been in the company for a long time. Like the old Cody Rhodes, then you got the legacy Cody Rhodes with Ted DiBiase, then you got Dashing Cody Rhodes, then you got you have the broken nose Cody Rhodes, Dashing Cody Rhodes. It's just a lot, and then Stardust, which we're not supposed to be talking about, and then the new Cody Rhodes, the repackaged and pushed to the top Cody.
His father lost to Randy Orton in just over 7 minutes. 6,110 days later, which amounts to just over 16 and a half years, that same man defeated Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40 to become WWE champion. That man was, of course, Ted DiBiase Jr. Just kidding. It was Cody Rhodes, obviously. Once heralded as the next big thing, it looked like the roller coaster had come off the rails when he was released by WWE in 2016, but it turns out that was just the beginning. After turning himself into one of the preeminent stars of independent wrestling, founding his own promotion, leaving that promotion, returning to WWE, failing to beat Reigns the first time, and crucially getting a neck tattoo, he finally did it. He did what is
Yup, he won the big gold. Alright, that was 10 wrestlers who took the longest to win the WWE Championship. Subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. Uriah out.